From 1975, that's Bugs Henderson with and the Fancy Space and the Rockin' Rhythm Daddies. An old Zoo tapes.
Yeah.
Find nicely.
That's the kind of thing I like.
Very cool. Any more where that came from?
Yes.
It's Reckless Rock Radio, KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas, Fort Worth. The voice of the people with Big Mix Lee.
Man of many words, Lee.
Yeah, that's right.
Lifesaver Lou, I'm Spicoli. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hi. Everyone have a nice weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except.
Great. You saw Except?
No.
Wow.
Nice.
Where did they play?
Except I was supposed to go and do an interview with you guys with Blackhorse, and, you know, I'm always...
You're busy getting paid. That's the
problem. Yeah, I need to fix that.
You need to be like us and be bums.
Yeah,
yes.
I need to fix that. But no, I want it to go so bad. I want it to go so bad.
You and your employment.
Yeah, Lou and myself went to visit the gentleman Blackhorse yesterday and had a great time. Wonderful guys. Can't thank them enough for having us out and wanting to talk to us. And they couldn't have been more gracious and humble about, you know, everything. And very open. They could have talked for hours.
They could have easily filled a few shows with content.
They need to come in here.
Oh, we agree.
Absolutely.
Yes,
definitely.
The only thing that really bums me out is that I had a truck full of recording gear.
Yes.
That didn't make it.
Yeah, we had to kind of just do our best with what we had.
I had 2 video cameras and my 35mm camera and 8-track recorder and shotgun mics and lav mics and all kinds of mics.
Yeah, I had a Sony Walkman. That little guy thing that the Home Alone kid had.
Yes.
We used that.
Sony Walkman.
And then I had the pterodactyl that could sketch out the band to do the photos with.
Wait a minute. Is it 88 miles per hour? Is that what you need to do to go back to the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your new paint job got you going 88 miles per hour, and you ended up with a Sony Walkman every day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's hard on the tires, though. They catch on fire. So
your car looks great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, keep it out from the trees.
Why did you park under a tree tonight? Have you not learned anything?
Dude, it's Dallas. No matter where you park, you're under a tree.
All right. So we do have this whole interview, and I listened to it. I liked it. We need to get these guys in here, for real.
Yes.
And we need new music. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I don't want to... No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
All right, let me set this up, okay? If you don't know, Blackhorse is a legendary North Texas rock and roll band. Played a lot in the 1970s, did a lot of the old Q102, 98 KZEW events. Got so close to getting signed, not once, not twice, several times. Just the timing was just always off, which you will hear in the interview. They released a spectacular masterpiece monster of a record in '79, a self-titled one. And if it wasn't for the last minute, I'd get nothing done. I found my copy. My official copy finally came in the mail on Saturday. And it's great. And will there be a reissue? Perhaps. We'll get to that. But anyway, it's just we don't feel they're getting their due. We don't want this kind of music to be forgotten. So this is part of our, I don't want to call it preserving history.
It has to start with an R.
Sure.
Or we had it's Sunday. It has to start with an S. Like we had our
Sunday Seconds.
Sunday Seconds. So this is going to be our... Anyway, we'll think about that. We'll come up with a name for this.
Sucking up to...
No, it's a great interview. Let's get to it because we'll mess this up.
This is Lou Morris, myself, and talking to John, Frank, and Donnie from Blackhorse. All right, so we're here with the gentleman in Blackhorse, John, Frank, Donnie. Hello, gentlemen. Nice to see you.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'd say thanks for coming out, but we're in your house, so thank you for having us.
Yeah, I don't know whose house this is.
I don't either. Oh, hi, Ronnie.
We're actually squatting it.
Who didn't somebody turn off the electricity? Oh.
It's enough. So.
All right, so legendary band. We're here at Reckless Rock Radio. What we like to do is we showcase a lot of the new bands, but we feel a lot of the veteran bands from Dallas-Fort Worth are heavily unappreciated and definitely misrepresented. So thank you for reuniting, for lack of a better term.
Believe me, it's our pleasure. Very much.
Now, start right off the bat, how did this reunion come together?
Well,
or is this a reunion?
It's in a sense it is, because we all used to play together back in the old day. Donnie was in the band, entered the band in the mid '80s when we went 4-piece, and Frank was one of the co-founders with me and Gary James, the late Gary James. And so basically when Frank left the band and the whole thing went south, and then a lot of years went by, we re-linked up a few years ago.
Started jamming.
Yeah, we just got in touch with each other on the phone and decided that we wanted to jam together. So we got a place out in the country and started jamming, and decided that we wanted to give it a go, because, he was right at home on guitar. He was right at home on bass. We all knew each other. And
Just natural.
it just fit natural. It's like I told Donnie when he came in when we did the first jam. I said, dude, you feel like home,
The chemistry is just unbelievable,
And you guys go way back even before the band started, right? You were friends?
Well, Frank and I were, and Gary James, the late Gary James, our buddy and brother, us three got together in Mineral Wells. Gary just came back from L.A. He's living in Hollywood for a lot of years, playing in a band called The Visions.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that the same Vision with John Michael Soria, or?
No, that was later.
Oh, okay. Forgive me.
no, actually, they
Try to act like I know stuff.
when he left the band, they were Dalton, James, and Sutton.
Okay.
And he came back to Mineral Wells and was just in the middle of getting out of music. He had enough of it. And so our guitar player, mine and Frank's, had gotten ill and couldn't play a date that we had, that we were going to play. And so we said, well, we're going to have to find somebody so we don't have to cancel this.
Right.
And so we went and talked to Gary, and Gary's borrowed his dad's amp and came on out, and the rest is history. It just took off from there. We did that show and
never looked back.
did a couple of practices, and it was just the chemistry was there. And so that's basically how it formed, was with us.
What year are we talking here?
We're talking
Early 70s.
71,
Wow.
72.
What was it like in Dallas, Fort Worth? What was the musical climate back then, or was there one?
Mother Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Mother
it
Blues?
was, Mother Blues, Gertie's,
The cellar.
the Cellar. was
My
still
dad's
going.
told me stories about that place.
Binary Star was going. Fort Worth, Mother Load, Licks, Gertie's. I mean,
It was busy back in them days. There was always
we
some
played
place
them
to
all.
play. Yeah.
Were you
Spencer's Corner.
huh?
Spencer's.
Well,
like the
it was
song?
Spencer's Corner, yeah.
Yeah. Fat, it
Yeah,
was
how
Fat
could we
Albert's
forget him?
first. That was what it was called.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And when you played these places, did you get to play your own music, or was this like the strictly the three set a night cover acts?
It
Or
was
did you
three set a night, but
Okay.
we always played. Our last set was always original.
Your own stuff.
Yeah.
How did that go over with the patrons? Did they enjoy
Well,
it?
they knew who we were because we've been playing around
Yeah.
for so long that we, as we were writing them and starting to play them, they got familiar with them, and so I mean, it got accepted well,
Right.
and so we just kept doing it until we released the album, and then the rest is history. Everybody liked it. So.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal album, and since you went there, I'll back on that. This didn't come out till '79. How long were you playing these songs together until you recorded it?
We were probably 74 RD?
Yeah.
74, somewhere in there.
Well,
Yeah.
we had
We started writing the stuff back when before Frank left the band.
Fox Hunting and Hell Hotel.
And
Great songs, absolutely
and
phenomenal
they-
songs.
Right, and then we finished them, and before we recorded, but we were playing them a long time before we recorded them,
Right.
and of course that took an investor. And when that came along, then we had the music at the time, so we went in and what was that, Dallas Sonic, where we recorded the album.
Yep.
We had to hurry up and get done doing the album because they were they were tearing the building down.
Oh, goodness.
They were tearing the building down as soon as we got through, and they had a date for us to get finished. So
Now, releasing an album is pretty simple in 2019. How was this released in 1979? You did it yourselves. How did that come about?
well, it's always tough getting something in the market, and so what happened with us was we got airplay pretty much. Well, Q102 got a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave them a copy of it, and they played it at midnight one night. They played fox hunting, and then they started getting a whole bunch of phone-ins and requests to play some more. And their phones blew up so bad that they ended up playing the whole album between when the one disc jockey left and the next one came on.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the disc jockey that was leaving put the album on and left it play, and the one coming in didn't take it off and come on back home until it was finished. And that took off like a firestorm. The phone started blowing up. And then I know I called in to request it one day myself. And the disc jockey got mad at me because he said, "No, I'm not going to play it." He said, "I'm tired of all these calls coming in about Blackhorse." He said, "I'm getting Blackhorse to death." He said, "I'll play it when I get ready to play it." And I said, "Well, okay." I told him, "I'm just a fan, man. I want to hear the song." And so, it wasn't but just a week or so after they played the whole album that it got on rotation.
Oh, excellent.
And then once it got on rotation, a week or so later, it went to heavy rotation.
Yeah.
And that was Fox Hunting and Hell Hotel.
Incredible.
Both of them. And then Q102, KZoo picked it up and put it on their rotation. And then KLOL down in Houston picked it up. I think they're still going, by the way, KLOL. And they picked it up and they put it on heavy rotation. And then just one thing led to another. And so we were getting heavy airplay in some major areas. But back then, when you were independent, to get your album actually put in a store, you had to have distribution.
Correct.
And
where
so
the labels come in.
we hit Big State up, and thought we were going to get a distribution contract with them since we were already getting this airplay. But as it were, that distribution contract fell out, and because we were on an independent label, and nobody favored independent label back then, and times have changed now. But so
why didn't the big ones come hollering once they saw all this regional success?
They did. We got a letter from Capitol. Actually, they came and seen us twice.
Oh, okay, that was my next question. Did any showcases go out?
Yeah, they came and seen us in Houston at the Palladium. We were doing a show with Bugs. And
Bugs Henderson, right? Okay,
and he was actually opening for us.
Nice.
And we opened for him plenty, but our record was doing pretty good. He had one out at the same time. Anyway, they flew in to see us then, and for whatever reason, it didn't come to fruition.
Any idea why? Because you guys were really popular.
Well,
I'm not just going by off what you said. Everyone I've talked to prepare for this conversation.
Well,
said how popular
and
you
we
were.
thought it was a shoe-in because Gary, the guitar player, back when he was in L.A., he flew all over everywhere, but he flew with one of the guys that was there from the AR department, was actually one of the guys that flew with Gary back and forth between Hollywood and Las Vegas when they were doing shows out in Las Vegas. And so they knew each other by first name and hugged and everything, And so we thought, well, this is going to be a shoe-in. We sat backstage after the show, laughed, and talked about plans and this one thing and the other. And then whenever they got on the plane and flew away, our management wasn't able to, they got hard to get a hold of. So, I mean, I really don't know, and that's how fickle the business is. we came so close so many times. It was, you know, in every other way in life, we were there.
Mm-hmm.
We just wasn't signing on the dotted line.
Right.
And same thing happened.
What-
That happened with Warner Brothers as well. So
What excuses did they give you? Did you ask them, or were you able to? Or
they said, and I'm going to be real honest about this.
okay.
They said we sounded like a unpolished Molly Hatchet.
Oh.
I went because we'd been playing with Molly Hatchet here and there. I didn't see that correlation,
I
but
don't either, and I
But
like both bands.
they did, and so you know. But that's how that happened. We had a lot more opportunity. I mean, we went to L.A. and seen Capitol again out there in a different set of people, and we had just written a song called "Walk on Water," and they bid on that one. This was after Fox Hunting and all of that. This wasn't on an album. On any of the Blackhorse stuff that we recorded, but it was one of our new ones at the time, and they bid on it. And what they said was, "Give us more stuff like this, and we'll come back to see you." And they left it at that. But so you remember that trip?
Oh, yeah.
You were there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
When did you guys decide to be a four-piece? Isn't that when you joined, Donnie?
Actually, they were four-piece. There was a couple other members of the
Oh,
band.
excuse me. See,
Wow.
finding information on you guys has not been easy. So forgive me if
I
some
was,
of my
the
stuff.
second
Okay.
second guitarist.
Second guitarist.
Well, Donnie had been coming around. In fact, he saw us at Tarrant County Convention Center.
The Triumph in Montrose.
And I never.
Oh, I
didn't-
found that information on
I
that.
didn't know this until he sent me a ticket. He texted me a ticket, and I said, "You mean to tell me you were there?" He said, "Yeah, I just turned 17." And,
Nice.
And that was just recently that we found that out.
yeah, and so, but he had been around for a while, and then he started coming around jamming with us, and we really liked the way he played guitar. And then we had trouble with the guitar player that we had brought in to be the fourth piece, because we wanted to go four-piece at one point in time, just check it out. And so when we had trouble with the guitar player we had then, Donnie stepped right in, and he had already been jamming with us. He'd been listening to us. He already knew the songs. A few practices, and boom, we were right back out playing with Donnie. And
Very cool.
he took over the harmonies. He did, everything that we asked him to do, he did, and excelled at it. So, and it's been that way ever since. That's why I said he feels like home.
He does indeed.
Well, you guys seem to have a friendly chemistry together. We'll be right back with more with Blackhorse. You're listening to Reckless Rock Radio on KNON 89.3 FM. 1979's Blackhorse. That is Blackhorse with Fox Hunting. It's Reckless Rock Radio and KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas, Fort Worth. Big Mix Lee, Lifesaver Lou. I'm Spicoli. Hello.
Hi.
We're in the midst of the Blackhorse interview. I hope you're enjoying this history lesson as much as I am. I hate the sound of my voice.
To me, it sounds like some things in the music industry haven't changed at all so far.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
pretty
not.
much. Yeah. There's some real interesting stuff coming up about that.
Yeah.
Let's just say my godlike admiration for somebody is not so godlike anymore.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that.
That won't be till part 3. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's part 3. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, Spicoli's getting his tonight.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
totally, yes, I'm eating my shoes.
Yep.
All right, let's get into part 2 with the Blackhorse gentlemen. This is John Teague, Donnie Pendleton, and Frank Risen of Blackhorse. Enjoy. We're back with John, Frank, and Donnie from Blackhorse. Again, gentlemen, thank you for speaking with us. Let's go back to now, Frank. Did you left the band, and that's when Gary came in? Is that correct, or were you all together at the
No,
same time?
Gary, Frank, and myself,
You all founded the band.
we founded
Okay.
the band. Right. We were actually called Zachariah, right? and that was just because we had to have something to go play.
That was lame.
Gotcha.
And we hated that, so we played this club called Everybody's Talking.
Mhm.
ET's short for Everybody's Talking, but it's called ET's. And little bar, and the bartender, his name was Steve Blackhorse. He was an Indian guy. His name was Steve Blackhorse. Well, one of us went up, or a bunch of us went up and ordered drinks, and we found out his name was Blackhorse.
Right.
And we changed our name right in the middle of the set.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we went back after that break, and we announced that we're Blackhorse.
Very cool.
and this guy was a little bit, I don't want to say prejudiced, but for lack of a better word, he was prejudiced.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like the idea that we did. And to my knowledge, Steve, if you're out there, I hope you come to accept us after 40 some odd years.
Gary had ran into him about, oh my God, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah. He ran into him at a store, and Gary told me, he said, you know what, Frank? He is still pissed off about it. Yeah.
Now, let's go back to that gig in Tarrant County Convention Center with Ronnie Montrose, Gamma, and Triumph. Was that the correct lineup?
Yeah.
How did you guys get that gig? Was it just from being so popular regionally, or?
Well, that actually came from Q102. They were actually putting on that show,
Okay.
and was Q102, wasn't it? Yeah.
15,000 in attendance, and it was free, right?
It was full. It was full. The fire
great
marshal
show.
actually ran a few thousand out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But so it actually came about because we'd been playing the area so long, and this album was new. We get an airplay.
So it's not like nobody didn't know who you were.
And so the disc jockey and I'm trying to think of who that was. I
From
can't remember.
Q102?
For Q102 at the time. Anyway, he put us on the show, and then he gave us a letter that he wrote Columbia Records
Okay.
on Q102 letterhead that said it was to Peter Philbin with Columbia in the A&R department, and saying it was talking about a conversation they had when they were flying somewhere together, and about Peter was telling the DJ, if you find any bands that you think I ought to look at, let me know. And he reminded him of that conversation and said in the letter, well, I have found one and that I think is worth you coming to look at. Of course, he's in L.A. And so he said, I've put him on a free show that I'm doing with Ronnie Montrose and Triumph at Tarrant County Convention Center, such and such date, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I really think you should come to see these guys. And I've still got the letters, matter of fact.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyways, that came about because of just of us just beating the streets and pounding our guitars and going and, you know, kicking ass in these clubs and get, you know, the fans were everything, man.
Right.
I mean, the fans, when they opened the doors of that place, I was still up on stage doing a drum check, and they opened all them doors at the end down there, and it looked like a bunch of cattle coming through.
Nice.
You know, and then all of a sudden, the place was full.
Didn't he get a chance to do the sound check?
No, we didn't even get to do
Oh, just have to go in there and throw it to the wolves, huh?
I mean, Big Ronnie barely made it up to the final spot.
Yeah.
Now, the next,
He was our engineer on that show, too, by the way.
the next year, you did Zoo World at the Dallas Convention Center. Who else played that show? Were you on first, or?
Bugs played the first show we did, I think. Didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I think he
Is
did
that 1980?
in 80. I believe that was Bugs. 1981, I don't remember because we headlined it.
That's
That
right.
was the year that we had the 17-foot Blackhorse album backdrop.
Oh, very
17 by 14.
Yeah.
Looked just like that hanging up behind us. It was all
That was before projection screen.
You had to get one of the.
Painted with day glow paint, so we had a huge line of black lights back
Yeah,
there.
we had to put up a bunch of black lights to shine up on it because it was all fluorescent. But boy, I mean, once it lit up, we had it covered with a black sheet. Whenever we started, the black sheet came down, the lights came on, and it was fluorescent, big, gigantic horse up there. It was really nice.
There's a couple of clips that you can see this on YouTube. I've seen Spencer's Corner in that one of them, and I forgot what the other one is. Forgive me, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, it's on the zoo tapes are actually online
On YouTube, yeah.
on YouTube.
There's three of
YouTube, just look up KZW Zoo
Zoo
Tapes.
World. Zoo World.
Zoo World, it'll
Yeah.
show pop
Yeah.
right up.
Zoo World 1980.
Yeah.
You guys realize you have fans all over the world. You do know that, right?
Well, yeah, because every time we turn around, there's somebody overseas telling us that they bought our album somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And bootleg.
Kerrang! Magazine in the United Kingdom has you guys record as in one of their articles as one of the best records you cannot find.
Damn. We get that a lot from Belgium and I mean all kinds of places.
And if it wasn't for the last minute, I'd get nothing done. My copy of your album, finally, I've had several burned copies over the last few years, but I've never had an official one. Okay, because I was broke, but I had to have it for today. So
We've all been there. Call me, I would have gave you one.
I appreciate it. It's all good. Money well worth spent because it's a phenomenal record. Any possible way you're going to re-release it? On CD again, or on another redistribution of the vinyl?
We've actually talked about putting together another one and re-releasing this one with it
Okay.
to kind of help each other out. But
New songs as well, or just like old stuff you had laying around over the years?
A mixture, because there's a lot of songs that didn't get recorded or that got recorded that didn't make the album.
Right.
And so there's a lot of material laying around.
I just
and then
got aroused.
all of these guys and us as a band right now have a load of material laying around too. So,
Right.
material is not the problem. It's actually getting into the studio because we're broke.
Yeah.
But we
think we know people who help out.
But
Wink, wink.
We are definitely do plan on doing some recording.
Excellent. So this is not just going to be another one-off show coming up next Friday.
No, this is not a reunion show. This is, it is a reunion of all of us brothers that we've known each other for 30 plus years, and mine and Frank's in Ronnie's case since high school. But we honestly want to go out and promote ourselves and do some recording, and
So another chapter of the band is.
It really is, and if our take on it is if nothing comes out of it, then by God, we're going to have some fun going out.
Excellent.
You know what I'm saying?
It's made full circle. It's heck yeah.
Oh, excuse me. All right, a couple of listener questions. Who is going to be singing Gary's part since he's not here anymore? Rest in peace, by the way.
Well,
did I get that right? Yeah, who's going to be?
We're going to be splitting it up.
we have split it up pretty much. Donnie sings Mama Gonna Love You Tonight, and Frank sings Lucille. I sing Hell Hotel.
We got it covered.
Excellent.
And I know that Gary would want it that way.
He'd be cool with this, so
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if it were me, I wouldn't want my material laying dormant when somebody could be spreading it out, you know, and because he worked all his life to do this stuff, so why let it lay? You know, that's the way we look at it.
Next question from the listener was the Hell Hotel. What inspired that song? From looking at the lyrics, it sounds like it was quite the eventful evening.
Well, I think Hell Hotel is one of those that's really a good one to be up to interpretation. But if you want the real skinny on it,
please.
Hell Hotel. Gary used to live in a townhouse, a small one, had a garage, and at the end of the garage it had a little tool room. You know, like you know, you get out of your car, go over here, and there's a little tool room. Well, that used to be. This was after he moved back from Los Angeles when he was playing out there all this time, and he would go into that tool room. He had a wife and a new baby, and family life. You know, he was working at 8 to 5, and so he used to use this tool room to go and get away. And so basically he went in there and did some writing, and he wrote Hell Hotel in that tool room, and that became Hell Hotel, was actually that tool room.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not at all what I was picturing, but that's okay.
And that became Hell Hotel because he was. That's where I'm trying to be cool here.
That's what I haven't said.
We already think you're cool. It's all good.
I could wreck some people's life here. And so he was just trying to be cool per his family situation when he had to get when he had to go out in the tool room. Let's put it that way.
It's therapy.
And therapy. And so basically he wrote Hell Hotel about that room and his situation.
Now, playing all those Q102 and KZEW events, did you ever get on any tours, or did anybody pick you up? Did you open for anybody reputable in town, like on when they were dropping in to play, McFarland's Auditorium, or I'm just trying to name places my dad used to tell me he would go. Dallas Convention Center, all
We
that.
played the Winter Garden with Alice Cooper. We played
We played
the Winter Garden with 10 Years After.
Yeah.
Alvin Lee.
Alvin Lee.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He tried to pick my old lady up then. I said, dude, I love you, but you can't do that. But we played.
Oh, nice.
Played, with Humble Pie over at the Palladium.
Palladium.
Well, the Palladium and Agora are the same building, and they changed names at some point in time. I just always call it the Palladium.
Right.
Played with Humble Pie there. We were standing on the edge of the stage. Steve Marriott was
Nice.
he was singing right here. We were off over here behind the curtain, and this guy can hawk a loogie further than anybody else.
Oh, that's disgusting, but awesome.
I mean, we were 30 foot off the side of the stage, and he was hitting right at the edge of our feet. We kept having to back up, and he had us backed all the way against the wall over there. And he was hawking them right in between songs, or right in between the verses.
Like one of those spitting lizards or something.
Oh, damn.
I remember he came in the green room and he was screwing around, and Gary opened up his briefcase and he had like a 12-pack in there or something. He flipped out and went to grabbing some of them.
He grabbed a little bit of everything in that dressing room.
He did, as a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact, he liked our dressing room so much he hung out in there. And then he liked us after he hung out in the dressing room so much that he went out and dedicated. He started with "I Don't Need No Doctor," and dedicated it to us. We told him we played that song.
Oh, that's cool.
And he said, "This is too, man, I can't talk like English like he did, but he dedicated it to the band, and it was really cool." And that's when we went down, stood on the side of the stage, and he was hocking loogies at us.
We'll be right back with more with Blackhorse. You're listening to Reckless Rock Radio on KNON 89.3 FM. Hell Hotel from Blackhorse. It's Reckless Rock Radio on KNON 89.3 FM. And we are halfway through our exclusive interview with the members of Blackhorse. Without further ado, here's part 3. Now, before the break, we mentioned some bands you guys used to play with, Humble Pie 10 years after, and then the name Van Halen was thrown around. Would you like to touch on that? You almost had the Women and Children first tour?
Yeah, well, it was in 1980, and I was telling him on break.
Lou.
I was telling him on break that we got a notice from or a phone call from Paragon Agency in New York, and they had put us on a tour with Van Halen, 13 city tour, and it started up in Washington State with what turned out to be the infamous M&M show.
Oh, the Brown M&M show.
Where they wrecked everything in life, got barred from the town. Anyway, we would have been there, and I say would have been there. We were booked on the show until David Lee Roth. This rocked on we were actually booked on the show for about. We rocked on for about 6 weeks before we actually knew.
Mm-hmm.
But we already our equipment was going to be put on the back of their truck so that we could take just one truck, and,
right?
You know, and then of course our equipment was going to come off first anyway, so we played first. We had it all planned out and all down, right down to wardrobe. You know, we had the 13 city tour dates written down on the calendar.
T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirts, the whole 9 yards. And so basically, a long story short, some weeks later, David Lee Roth and the band, they reviewed the album, our album. And David Lee Roth didn't want another high-intensity three-piece band on the show.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you in a minute how I know this for a fact.
Okay.
But he didn't want another, and so it was pretty much down to Dear David, because as it turns out, the other guys in the band didn't
care.
So what they ended up doing, they wanted somebody that they could actually upstage, like they needed to upstage anybody anyway.
Right.
So they ended up putting the Penguins on the tour.
I was just saying, they always had the most bizarre opening acts.
Well, that's why it was David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
And the reason I know this for a fact is because Paul Middleton, bass player on the album, when he left the band, he went out on the road with Bonnie Raitt for 30 plus years.
Oh, okay. So that was my answers. One question I had. Whatever happened to him?
Well, that.
He got another job.
He was with Julio Iglesias for a while too, but he was out mainly with Bonnie for all those years, and so Bonnie has a lot of fans. And,
Sure.
And Van Halen was really liked Bonnie a lot. And so at one of the shows that they were doing, Eddie Van Halen and Michael Anthony, the bass player, came to see Bonnie. Well, they came backstage and they were all back there, and Paul got them aside and said, "Say, do you remember a band back in 1980 called Blackhorse?" And they remembered.
Yeah.
And he asked them about it. He said, "Why was it that they ended up not on the tour?" And they knew all about it, and they told the same story I just told you, that David Lee Roth reviewed it and decided that they didn't need to be another high intensity three-piece band on the show.
Higher energy. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like anybody was going to upstage them, including us, because they had hit records. I mean, and then a monster guitar player, and their whole act was killer. But I thought he was being a little paranoid by doing that, because I thought it would have been a really good show.
Oh, absolutely. I agree
Really good
largely.
show.
Yeah.
But that's why it didn't come to fruition. But it was a close call, and we were on cloud nine. Now, there's no doubt in our mind, but what if we would have done that show, we'd have been on Warner Brothers right after that.
Oh, damn it, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I don't know that I can defend him any longer like I've been doing all my life. That was my first band
That's
that
one
I
of the-
got into was Van Halen.
It's one of the things right from Paul's mouth is he actually hit them up with that. Y'all need to understand. A lot of people don't understand nowadays. It's just the smallest decision like that can just have such a
Tripling
Profound
effect.
effect.
Yes.
on not on bands, on the families, members of bands, the whole life of band members. So
Yeah.
take these decisions.
It sent things in a different direction. But I mean, we were still knocking at it, and the album was still being played, and we still, so we didn't get our dauber in the dirt. We just turned our tail and ran the other way, and kept on going. But it is a testament to where we could have been.
Yeah.
What if, man?
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to skyscraper, eat 'em and smile, and women and children first the same anymore. But that's all right. That's all right.
Quite frankly,
How about no?
quite frankly, I like them and always have.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys were playing locally, was there any camaraderie with the other bands? Did you get along with them?
Yeah.
Tight friends?
Yeah,
Was it all a big
friends with
family?
Rocky Athos,
Right.
Lightning, all those guys
Right.
we talked about earlier.
All the Point Blank bunch.
Point Blank were real tight friends. Right?
Yeah, we were
Love them. They're
we were
incredible.
Yeah.
we were good buds with Point Blank since conception.
Oh,
Back we were playing when they got together. Me, Frank, and Gary were playing Fat Albert's, which was
Right.
later Spencer's Corner
Right.
over by TCU, and Point Blank came in with the same guy that was trying to manage us was trying to manage them at the time. This was before they got with Bill Ham.
Right.
When they were just getting together, and they came in, and we had a full house. Well, our manager guy was bringing them in to sit in with us and get them some exposure
Right.
before a club that they could possibly play at. Well, he brought them in, and they went up and sat in on our stuff. We'd never seen them before. And I'm telling you, they burned the house down.
Oh,
Yeah.
They did.
tremendous.
They started with some Almond Brothers. Ain't no way out. And I mean,
Nice.
John O'Daniels just melted people's faces.
Yeah.
And then the two guitar players, Kim and Rusty, did their harmony guitar parts and stuff. And I mean, me and Frank looked at each other and went, "Hey, do you want to go back to work?" So we had to go up and play. But yeah, Point Blank was friends of ours forever, and
Yeah.
we toured with them a bunch. We played.
you guys went on actual tours.
Yeah.
And
Well, when they came in, they were out on the road with Journey for a year or so, I guess, or better part of a year.
Right.
When they came in from Journey, in between some of Journey's stints, they did 2,000 and 3,000 seat halls that they headlined when they did, like Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa. And then they would ask us if we wanted to play. And of course, they knew we were gonna fill the ticket and bring some people, and so we played a lot with them, a lot. Even rode on their tour bus.
Nice.
That was fun. Because they was cooking up shrimp scampi along the way.
How long did you guys keep it together during the first tenure before you decided to hang it up for a while? And why did you, considering how popular you were?
Gosh.
I think it changed to the cause.
Right.
We never really hung it up.
Yeah.
We just morphed into a different kind of a band.
What was the cause like? Somebody
Well,
gave me
first
that.
when we went 4-piece, we had Donnie.
Okay.
And Donnie was part of the nucleus of the cause, and myself and Gary James. Basically, what it was we took 4 guys we had, added a keyboard player, went and wrote an album, called it The Cause, and it was a, for lack of a better word, it was a Journey kind of band, because we were
So it was,
we were 5
instead of
people.
Southern rock, Southern hard
80s.
rock, it was
Yeah,
kind of
80s.
morphed into AOR.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
Kind of like Point Blank's stuff after their 3rd, 4th album.
Yeah.
I stayed together for several years.
Middle
We
age.
were getting ready to go on tour, and the keyboard player quit, and the tour was already booked, and we had to cancel it, and it burned a bunch of bridges. So it wasn't but a couple of years that actually stayed together. But
Hell of a band.
during that process, though, our investors, her name is Laura Church, and she was also part of the independent record company, and she did a lot of our business for us at our record company store. And Van Halen came back into play again. This
Plot thickens.
This time, Ed Leffler, their manager, who rest his soul, has, I just found out, has died here sometime in the last few years. I don't know. But anyways, Ed Leffler got a hold of our album and was looking to manage us. And
Really?
They're still with Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, he and Laura talked for, I don't know, a couple of months.
Well, what became of that?
Well, you know, Hager was with them then.
Right.
This is in the mid to late 80s. Yeah.
It's an inside joke we have at the studio. Half, I'm outnumbered. I'm Roth and Lou and Lee are Sam.
I see. So me and my son are like that. So. But anyway, so we it rocked on, and he got busy and wrote us a letter. He was real cordial about it. He said, "Look, you know, Van Halen was fixing to release another album, and it rocked along. Our business with him rocked along until that came up on him, and he had to bow out because he was getting busy with their release. So had it been a little bit, the timing on it was kind of weird. Had it been a little bit earlier, maybe we would have been with him during that release or during their tour, and we could have went on tour with them, maybe, you know. But I mean, there again, timing and damn. So, but we crossed paths with them a couple of times. I've always thought that was kind of strange, because it's almost like it should have happened, but it didn't.
You're on their radar, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We were.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more with Blackhorse. You're listening to Reckless Rock Radio on KNON 89.3 FM.
You're listening to KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
That is Point Blank with Thunder and Lightning. It's Reckless Rock Radio on KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas, Fort Worth, the voice of the people. Big Mix Lee.
Hi.
Lifesaver Lou. Hey. I'm Spicoli. Hi.
Hi, Spicoli.
Hello.
So,
yes.
we just heard,
Here it comes.
Yeah.
We just heard segment 3 of our 4-part Blackhorse interview here, and they brought up something that I think we need to discuss.
Yeah, it needs to be addressed.
I'm going to try and do this quick because I want to get this fourth thing going, but fourth part going. But in there, he mentioned that they had a 13-date tour in the books, ready to roll. Everything was laid out. They had shirts made. They had the calendar all set up. They had it arranged for their gear to ride in the back of the truck with Van Halen on the Women and Children First tour.
Yeah, ready to go.
This is Blackhorse we're talking about.
Yeah.
Blackhorse,
Yeah,
absolutely.
on the Women and Children First 1980. I believe.
1980.
Yeah, with Van Halen.
Van Halen.
Great opportunity for
Great
a
opportunity
band
for
It's
us.
a
that's-
wonderful
band, yeah.
opportunity and
excellent band.
would have probably
Apparently.
changed the course of history.
And apparently,
their history.
your choice of
a frontman.
frontmen between Mr. Sammy Hagar and Mr. David Lee Roth listened to their record and said no, and it was already a done deal. So, based on this new current information,
Yes.
this breaking news, which is a great story. I hope these guys write a book.
I do too.
So, Mr. David Lee Roth listened to the Black Horse album
Right.
after this whole tour was organized and ready to roll. And,
Dare I say he felt threatened?
yeah, and he says, "No, we can't have that band open for us.
Yes.
Um,
We'd rather have Penguin.
We would rather have the Penguins." So,
Yeah.
Sammy or Dave? Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy,
Yeah. Yeah.
he stopped.
He oppressed Blackhorse.
Yes.
Blackhorse, I don't know what to say. Everything I say is wrong.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy that Skyscraper album,
Yeah.
which
really.
is a great album, by the way.
I can't. It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to put it in for a very long time, nor Eat 'em and Smile, nor any of the 7 David Lee Roth Van Halen releases. However, that does not mean I'm going
I
to.
mean, in 1980.
I know nobody was going to
Van Halen-
upstage Van
Van
Halen, and Dave
Halen?
should have known that.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
I'm not. I can't defend Dave on this. I'll be honest. I cannot do it.
Yeah. 'cause
It's just mind-boggling because
we've reached out to Dave, and he hasn't. He hasn't
asked for
commented. Yeah, he hasn't reached out, but he hasn't contacted us back yet. But
Van Halen was never known for its wonderful opening acts. I mean, the last time I saw them, they had Kool and the Gang opening.
Well, I think we know why now.
yeah,
Yes.
they're scared. Well, Dave was scared.
Yeah.
Dave was
Eddie
scared.
didn't.
I just... In 1980, David Lee Roth was a rock god, if not the rock god.
They were on top of the world.
Exactly. And this is barely when MTV's starting.
Right.
So I'm trying to get into Dave's psyche here. Like, why would he care?
Why? What poster would be really much cooler? Van Halen and Blackhorse, or Van Halen and the Penguins?
Yeah.
Van Halen and Blackhorse.
Absolutely.
No question.
13 dates, dude. And Dave said, I don't want an energetic three-piece band that probably is more energetic than we are.
That's the
He
thing.
was scared.
I know, and that's just so...
Yeah.
More energetic than Dave when he was doing all the substances.
All the substances, not just some, all of them, and all the sugar.
So talk about life-changing. How long is the record? 40 minutes?
Back then, 79, 80, 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
A Van Halen record was all the first six, or I don't think any of them go past 32.
Blackhorse had their whole life change
Just
basically
by that.
in the course of 30 minutes of Dave going,
That's assuming he listened to the whole album.
Right. That's true, too, because Fox Hunting's the first song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably all it took. So 3 minutes.
Yep.
3
He's
minutes.
probably like, whoa.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
a
no,
great
no, no.
album. If you can find it, you got to do it. And man, I am so stoked that I heard in there they're looking to do new material
New
and
music.
re-release
Yes.
the old stuff.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yes, this is going to be
So-
great. I can't wait for this next chapter of the band.
Right.
That's what we're going to discuss here in part 4. And, it's probably best if I just don't listen to any more Van Halen for the rest of the year.
For the
Probably
rest
not
of the
until
year.
spring.
That's
Ask me.
Say rest of the year. Wow.
Wow, big deal. Woo, woo, woo. See how much he
fasting
loves you, Blackhorse? He's not going to listen to Van Halen for the rest of the year.
If it's any consolation,
Woo.
at this time of year I don't listen to Van Halen at all because it's...
I listen to their Christmas album. It's the best one.
All right, here we go. Part 4 with Blackhorse. This is Frank, John, and Donnie, and their roadie, Ronnie. And this is where we get into the part about their future, and I want to go bury myself in a hole
With his Van Halen
with
CD.
my Van Halen CD.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, now you guys have done some one-offs here and there the last decade or so. Is this incarnation of the band, this is going to stick? So this isn't just a one-night only thing. It goes up from here, right?
Yeah. Well, we're pretty much, our mantra, so to speak, is we're in it for us. We're going to have a good time.
Great.
We're not going to carry any monkeys on our backs, of expectations of other, record companies or other people that are looking at us for any particular reason. If it pleases us, then that's what we care about.
Awesome.
That's what we're doing it for.
Right.
We have fun doing it.
That's
playing
right.
together.
And anything that comes along with that, and we expect there probably will be some things, but we're not going to go try to conquer the world. We're just going to play and have a good time and see what comes of it.
So what can fans expect musically this time around? Going to go back to the more southern hard rock, or
I say pretty much. I say pretty much an extension of what we are.
Right.
excellent?
We're not. We like that vein. Am I speaking? Am I all right? Y'all all right with it?
I mean, Blackhorse has got our music's got a set of teeth in it that won't quit. I mean, when we play, we're ramming it. We're biting your ass, basically.
It's 50 pounds. I think we add 50 pounds to the song.
So along with the possible reissue of the 1979 self-titled album, there might be more albums or new songs on the reissue. Or has that been discussed? Or
It's the format is kind of up in the air as far as that goes, but we'll definitely have some new material.
Excellent.
But it'll be in that Blackhorse tradition.
Yeah,
fantastic!
absolutely.
And you guys have all got stuff been laying around with other bands. That,
we have stuff was pre-written, back by the album guys. We have loads of stuff that we're working on right now that everybody has in mind and on sheet. So there's not a lack of material. The biggest thing is right now we've been concentrating on pulling our show together.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
And getting that out of the way and getting out doing it. Once we do this Diamond Gems thing and get it behind us, then we will start doing some other things.
So this is a testing the waters kind of gig.
I guess you could call it that. It's
Friday night, people come out.
It's a stage, and it's got a beer fountain, and so we're going to play it.
Excellent.
Hey, I seen a band one time count to 4 and bust out into a fist fight, so you don't know what's going to happen.
That's it. I'm bringing my baseball bat.
Well, on behalf of the fans, gentlemen, thank you for reuniting and continuing on. This music really still needs to be heard. The style of music does not need to go away, especially here in the South of all places. But thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, okay?
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
And that does it for our exclusive interview with Blackhorse. See them Friday night, testing the waters, and a new chapter will be written in the history of the band.
Exciting.
We will have a concert link on our page, Reckless Rock Radio on Facebook, probably as well as Instagram. So don't miss out. And
we'll eventually try to get that interview archived too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll
that'll
get it
get
on our
our podcast.
Yeah.
podcast.
Absolutely.
And with them will be Driven Force, featuring Skip Wilson, who was Rocky Athos' old singer in Lightning.
Nice.
So it's going to be a great night of
Absolutely.
Sacred Sound. You like that, Lou?
Sacred
How
Sound.
did that sound?
Yeah. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So thank you guys in Blackhorse, John, Frank, and Donnie, as well as Ronnie the roadie, for their wonderful hospitality and inviting us into their home and sitting around and shooting the breeze. And my God, we could have talked to them for hours.
Oh yeah, that could have easily gone a lot longer.
So we'll definitely, hopefully, have them back real soon and up here, and where we can all let loose.
Once the
studio's
studio's built, man, we'll do this.
absolutely.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
All right.